Is it really normal to wake up 3, 4, even 5 times a night just to pee? If that question sounds painfully familiar, this video is for you. Because contrary to what you've been told, frequent nighttime bathroom trips aren't just part of getting older. They're a signal, one that your body is trying to send you. The good news? You can do something about it, starting tonight. In this video, we'll break down the science of what's happening, why it matters more than you think, and 5 practical changes that helped real seniors take back their sleep, without medication or drastic diets. Stick with us. Your best rest might be just a few changes away. What's really happening in your body at night? Let's talk about what's actually happening when you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom, because it's more serious than just lost sleep. The condition is called Nocturia, and it's far more common than you might think. According to the Sleep Foundation, up to 2/3 of adults over age 65 experience it. Nocturia is defined as waking at least once per night to urinate, but if you're waking 2, 3, even 4 times, that's a red flag your body is out of balance. Here's what's going on. As we age, our bladder capacity shrinks. Hormones like vasopressin, which helps the kidneys retain fluid at night, decline, and inflammation or prostate/bladder sensitivity can signal the urge to go, even when the bladder isn't full. But the real danger of Nocturia isn't just the bathroom trips. It's what happens when your sleep cycle is constantly disrupted. Deep sleep, especially slow wave and REM sleep, is where your brain files memories, your immune system resets, and your body repairs damaged tissues. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, has shown that older adults who lose deep sleep experience higher levels of inflammation, weaker immune defenses, and slower cognitive processing. That's right. Frequent nighttime urination has been linked to a higher risk of memory loss, depression, and even early dementia. And let's not forget physical risk. According to Harvard Health, seniors who frequently get up at night are 3 times more likely to fall, often resulting in fractures or hospitalizations. Half asleep, disoriented, and trying to navigate in the dark? It's a recipe for disaster. So no, it's not just about comfort. Your nightly trips to the toilet are draining more than your energy. They're draining your brain, your bones, and your body's ability to recover. The good news? You can change this. Many of the underlying causes of Nocturia are manageable, sometimes even reversible, with a few key changes to your daily routine. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Margaret was 68, a retired librarian living in a quiet town in Wisconsin. Her days were peaceful, morning walks, gardening, and hosting book club meetings in her sunroom. But her nights, they were a different story. For over a year, Margaret had been waking up 2 to 4 times every night to pee. She'd chalked it up to just getting older, even joked about it with her friends. But then one cold November night, everything changed. Half asleep and fumbling for her slippers in the dark, Margaret lost her balance on the way to the bathroom. She fell hard, fracturing her wrist and bruising her hip. It wasn't just the pain or the ER visit that shook her. It was the realization, this could have been worse. A broken hip. A concussion. Suddenly, the bathroom wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a hazard. At her follow-up appointment, the doctor casually dismissed her concerns. It's part of aging, he said. Just be careful. But Margaret wasn't satisfied. She knew her body, and this constant disruption wasn't normal. It was exhausting, frustrating, and now, clearly dangerous. That fall became her wake-up call, literally and figuratively. Margaret dove into research, determined to understand what was happening in her body and what she could do about it. That's when she discovered the science of Nocturia and the small but powerful changes that could help her sleep better and stay safe. And her journey to reclaim restful, uninterrupted sleep began. Mistake number 1. Too much liquid too late. One of the most common mistakes Margaret discovered, something millions of people unknowingly do, is drinking too much liquid too late in the day. It seems harmless, even healthy. After all, we're told to stay hydrated. But when you're sipping water, tea, or even wine late into the evening, you're setting yourself up for multiple overnight bathroom trips. Here's the science behind it. As we age, our bladder's capacity shrinks, and the hormone vasopressin, which normally helps the kidneys slow urine production at night, begins to decline. At the same time, when we lie down, fluid that's pooled in the legs during the day redistributes into the bloodstream and gets filtered by the kidneys, filling the bladder even faster once you're horizontal. According to the National Sleep Foundation, drinking even a moderate amount of fluid within 2 hours of bedtime significantly increases the risk of nocturia, waking at night to urinate. And it's not just water. Caffeine and alcohol are diuretics. Even certain herbal teas, like dandelion or hibiscus, can stimulate urination. Margaret had always kept a cup of chamomile tea next to her recliner in the evening, and she often drank a full glass of water right before bed. Once she realized this pattern was affecting her sleep, she made a simple shift. She front-loaded her hydration, drinking 70% of her fluids before 3 p.m. and sipping, not gulping, small amounts in the evening. She also learned a hydration trick from holistic nutrition research, pairing water with a tiny crystal of Celtic salt. This natural salt contains over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium and potassium, which help cells absorb water more efficiently, rather than just letting it pass straight through to the bladder. Here's her new routine. Drink 1 cup of water upon waking, with a pinch of Celtic salt. Continue sipping half a cup every hour until lunch. After 4 p.m., reduce to small sips only if thirsty. Avoid herbal teas or alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. By simply adjusting the timing and type of fluids, Margaret cut her nighttime trips from 4 to 1 within 2 weeks. Sometimes, it really is the smallest change that makes the biggest difference. Mistake number 2. Just-in-case bathroom trips. It might feel smart to go just in case before bed or before heading out, but this well-intentioned habit can actually do more harm than good, especially if you're dealing with nighttime urgency. Here's why. When you routinely empty your bladder without a true urge, you're training it to send signals at lower and lower volumes. Over time, your bladder begins to think it's full when it's only half or even a quarter full. This condition is known as reduced functional bladder capacity, and it's incredibly common among older adults, especially those trying to stay ahead of the problem. Urologist Dr. Matthew Karlovsky, a board-certified expert in male and female urinary health, emphasizes this point in his clinical practice. He notes that patients who stop the just-in-case habit and instead follow a structured bladder retraining program often reduce their bathroom frequency dramatically in a matter of weeks. Margaret took this insight to heart. She began with one simple goal: only go when she felt a genuine urge. No more timed trips or nervous peeing before bed. To help her bladder relearn its natural rhythm, she adopted a behavioral retraining method. Week 1. Delay bathroom trips by 15 minutes once the urge hits, if tolerable. Week 2. Increase delay to 30 minutes gradually. Track her patterns using a bladder diary. Use distraction techniques like deep breathing or light tasks to ride out false alarms. Margaret noticed that by the end of the 3rd week, she had already doubled the length of time she could comfortably wait between trips. More importantly, she began sleeping longer stretches at night without waking. The takeaway: trust your bladder to tell you when it's actually full, and gently retrain it if it's forgotten how. Dietary triggers you didn't know about. What you eat, and when you eat it, can have a surprising impact on your nighttime bladder activity. While some foods are known diuretics or irritants, most people don't realize how common these triggers are, especially when eaten later in the day. Let's start with the usual suspects: spicy foods, citrus fruits, and acidic ingredients like vinegar. These can all irritate the lining of the bladder, making it more sensitive and more likely to send frequent empty me signals, even when it's not full. Then there are sneaky diuretics hiding in your healthy meals. Celery, cucumber, and even watermelon are composed mostly of water and act like natural diuretics, gently pushing fluid through the kidneys. That's great earlier in the day, but if eaten after 4 p.m., they may set your bladder into overdrive overnight. Soups are another comfort food with an unexpected effect. Brothy, clear soups in particular deliver a high volume of fluid, often unnoticed. One bowl at dinner can hydrate you so much that your bladder fills before midnight. Swap those for creamy, thicker soups instead to get the warmth without the flood of fluids. Artificial sweeteners are perhaps the most under-recognized trigger. Research from the National Association for Continence, NAFC, shows that compounds like aspartame and saccharin can overstimulate the bladder and contribute to both urgency and frequency. Many seniors trying to reduce sugar unintentionally increase these bladder-irritating substances through diet drinks or sugar-free desserts. Margaret learned this firsthand. She used to eat a large salad with tomatoes, cucumbers, and a balsamic vinaigrette every night. After reading about acid triggers, she moved the salad to lunch and replaced it with steamed zucchini and carrots with olive oil at dinner. The result? A 50% drop in nighttime wake-ups within 10 days. Here are smart swaps. Instead of raw vegetables at dinner, go with lightly steamed or roasted. Use lemon zest or herbs like rosemary and thyme instead of vinegar or salt. Avoid sparkling waters and sodas in the evening, even if they're labeled sugar-free. Small tweaks to your evening plate can result in big improvements to your night. It's not just about what you remove, but what you replace it with. Margaret didn't give up flavor, she just shifted it earlier. You can too. Sleep position. Most people never think twice about how they sleep, yet your sleep position can have a major impact on nighttime urination. In particular, sleeping on your left side has been shown to reduce pressure on your bladder, ease digestion, and improve fluid movement through the kidneys. Why does this matter? When you lie on your back or right side, the weight of your intestines can press more heavily on your bladder, especially if you're already dealing with an enlarged prostate, weak pelvic muscles, or age-related shifts in abdominal tone. Left-side sleeping, by contrast, allows gravity to assist the natural flow of lymphatic drainage and improves kidney filtration, reducing the amount of urine produced overnight. Studies published in the Journal of Clinical Gastroenterology and Sleep Medicine Reviews have also shown that left-side sleeping can reduce acid reflux and improve bowel transit, contributing to a calmer digestive system, which in turn lowers nighttime awakenings. Margaret had always been a right-side sleeper. But after reading about sleep posture, she made a conscious switch. It wasn't easy at first, so she used 2 body pillows, one between her knees to keep her hips aligned, and one to hug for comfort. Within a week, she was waking up only once a night, sometimes not at all. Here are a few tips to help. Sleep on your left side with a pillow between your knees to reduce pelvic pressure. Use a small lumbar pillow behind your back to prevent rolling over. Choose breathable sheets and looser pajamas to reduce discomfort. Your sleep position could be one of the simplest and most effective changes you make. It's low effort, zero cost, and often overlooked. Foods that help reduce nighttime urination. Number 1. Pumpkin seeds. Eleanor's first step toward healing started in the bulk aisle of her local co-op. After reading about phytosterols and zinc, 2 powerhouse nutrients in pumpkin seeds, she began sprinkling a tablespoon over her morning oatmeal. The seeds were crunchy, nutty, and surprisingly satisfying. Scientifically, pumpkin seeds are among the richest plant sources of phytosterols, which are known to inhibit 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, DHT, a major contributor to prostate and bladder irritation. According to a 2014 study in Phytotherapy Research, supplementation with pumpkin seed oil significantly reduced urinary symptoms in aging adults. Zinc also plays a vital role in maintaining healthy urogenital tissues and reducing inflammation. Eleanor's dosage? About a quarter cup of raw pumpkin seeds daily, either as a snack or in homemade trail mix with walnuts and dried cranberries. Within 2 weeks, she noticed less urgency and better bladder control. Number 2. Cooked tomatoes. Pasta night became Eleanor's favorite ritual again, thanks to the healing potential of lycopene in cooked tomatoes. Every Sunday, she'd simmer garlic, crushed tomatoes, olive oil, and oregano into a simple marinara and freeze portions for the week. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant that concentrates in reproductive and urinary tissues. Harvard's health publications link high lycopene diets with reduced prostate size and lower urinary frequency in aging populations. Lycopene's ability to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation makes it a go-to for both men and women facing bladder issues. The key. Cooking. Heat breaks down plant cell walls, making lycopene far more bioavailable. Eleanor paired her sauce with a bit of olive oil, which enhances absorption. Half a cup of cooked tomato products, 3 to 4 times per week, is enough to support urinary tissue health. Number 3. Turmeric. Eleanor first learned about turmeric while helping a friend manage arthritis pain. Curious, she began crafting a nightly golden milk drink with warm almond milk, turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. The active compound curcumin in turmeric is one of nature's most powerful NF-kappa B blockers, a pathway strongly linked to inflammation in the bladder and pelvic region. A study published in the Journal of Urology found that curcumin supplementation led to improvements in lower urinary tract symptoms, LUTs, and nocturia in older adults. For therapeutic effects, curcumin should be paired with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that boosts curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Eleanor's dose? About 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric, nightly in tea or cooking. After 2 weeks, she began sleeping deeper, and as a bonus, her hip stiffness also improved. Number 4. Green tea. At first, Eleanor missed her second cup of coffee. But once she switched to green tea, she noticed calmer afternoons and fewer bathroom interruptions. Her routine included steeping 2 cups daily, one after lunch and one around 3 p.m. The secret lies in EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, a powerful catechin shown to reduce DHT levels and soothe bladder lining inflammation. Research featured in Urology Times also highlights green tea's role in promoting apoptosis, healthy cell turnover, in urogenital tissues, making it particularly helpful in BPH-like symptoms. Steeping tip: Eleanor lets boiled water cool for a minute before pouring it over the tea to preserve EGCG. For an extra boost, she occasionally enjoys matcha, a powdered form of green tea with higher antioxidant content. By week 3, she reported a more relaxed bladder and a steady energy lift without caffeine crashes. Number 5. Pomegranate juice. Eleanor's final ally came in a ruby red glass. Pomegranate juice, rich in punicalagins, became her morning tonic. She drank 4 ounces daily, choosing 100% pure juice without added sugars. Punicalagins are polyphenol with unmatched antioxidant potency. Research from UCLA showed that daily pomegranate juice intake slowed the PSA doubling time in men with elevated levels, suggesting it protects prostate health and reduces systemic inflammation. Though she didn't have a prostate, Eleanor's bladder tissue responded positively too. She also started making a pomegranate vinaigrette with olive oil and Dijon mustard for her salads. Within 6 weeks, she noticed that she was sleeping through the night at least twice a week, something she hadn't experienced in years. Together, these 5 foods formed the foundation of Eleanor's gentle transformation. No restrictive diets. No harsh medications. Just consistent, strategic nourishment backed by science. 3 months into her lifestyle transformation, Margaret could hardly believe the difference. What began as a desperate attempt to avoid another painful fall had turned into a quiet triumph. She went from waking up 4 times each night to sleeping a consistent 6-hour stretch, something she hadn't done in nearly 5 years. The benefits extended well beyond the bedroom. With her sleep restored, Margaret's energy returned. She no longer needed 2 cups of coffee just to feel alert by mid-morning. Her mood stabilized, too. Those feelings of frustration and mental fog were replaced with more patience, laughter, and presence with her grandchildren. Her morning walks resumed, and her risk of stumbling in the dark vanished. Perhaps most rewarding was her impact on others. At her local community wellness group, Margaret shared her story. She printed out her food schedule, brought in jars of homemade trail mix, and even hosted a golden milk night where she showed other seniors how to brew turmeric tea. Many nodded in recognition at her struggles. Some had also believed nighttime urination was simply part of aging. But now, Margaret had become a beacon of possibility, not because she did anything extreme, but because she committed to small, consistent choices that added up. Her message was clear. Your body isn't broken. It's simply asking for help, and food can be a powerful answer. Margaret didn't reverse time, but she reclaimed her rest, her rhythm, and her resilience. And now, she's inspiring others to do the same. While nighttime urination can often be addressed with simple lifestyle changes, there are certain symptoms that require immediate medical attention. If you experience burning, pain, or blood in your urine, do not wait. These may signal a urinary tract infection, UTI, bladder stones, or in rare cases, a more serious condition such as bladder cancer. Sudden, excessive thirst or unexplained urination could also indicate diabetes, especially when paired with fatigue or weight loss. Additionally, leaking urine, particularly before you reach the bathroom, could be a sign of urge incontinence or pelvic floor dysfunction. These symptoms aren't just nuisances, they are important messages from your body. A simple urine test, review of your current medications, or a check for infections or prostate/bladder changes can reveal the underlying cause. In many cases, small adjustments to medications or therapies can make a huge difference. Consider also asking your provider about pelvic floor therapy, especially if you've been told to just live with it. It's not only for new mothers. Men and postmenopausal women can both benefit greatly. Don't accept poor sleep as the new normal. If symptoms persist or worsen, schedule an appointment. Ruling out serious issues is a key part of reclaiming your nights safely and effectively.